The National Electrical Code, or NEC, dictates different requirements for aluminum wire sizing based on the type of occupancy. When dealing with a 100 amp subpanel, the conductor size needed for dwellings differs from that needed for commercial spaces like offices or gift shops. In a dwelling, the code mandates a number 2 aluminum conductor for 100 amp subpanel. However, in an office space or gift shop, the code specifies a number 4 aluminum conductor for the same 100 amp subpanel. The reason for this difference lies in the way the NEC accounts for load diversity and usage patterns in different types of buildings. Dwellings are assumed to have a different load profile than commercial spaces, which influences the allowable ampacity of the conductors. Ampacity refers to the current carrying capacity of a conductor, typically measured in amps. It is crucial to select the correct wire size to ensure the safe and efficient operation of electrical systems, preventing overheating and potential fire hazards. When choosing conductors, several factors come into play. Firstly, the ambient temperature affects the ampacity of a conductor. High temperatures reduce the conductor's ability to dissipate heat, thus lowering its ampacity. Secondly, the number of current-carrying conductors in a raceway or cable also influences the ampacity. When multiple conductors are bundled together, their heat dissipation is reduced, requiring a dilating factor to be applied. Thirdly, the type of insulation used on the conductor affects its temperature rating. Common insulation types include THHN, THWN, and XHHW, each with different temperature ratings. The NEC provides tables, such as Table 310.15, the 16, that list the allowable ampacities of conductors based on their size, insulation type, and temperature rating. These tables are essential tools for electrical professionals to ensure code compliance. In the case of aluminum conductors, the NEC specifies different ampacities compared to copper conductors. Aluminum has a lower conductivity than copper, meaning it requires a larger conductor size to carry the same amount of current. Therefore, when using aluminum conductors, it is crucial to refer to the appropriate ampacity tables for aluminum. To further clarify the selection of aluminum wire size for a 100 amp subpanel, let's delve deeper into the code requirement. In dwellings, the NEC allows for a reduction in the conductor size based on the calculated load. This is because dwellings typically have a diverse load profile, with not all appliances and devices operating simultaneously. The NEC provides specific demand factors that can be applied to the calculated load to determine the minimum conductor size required. However, in commercial spaces like offices and gift shops, the load is often more continuous and less diverse. Therefore, the NEC requires a larger conductor size to accommodate the higher sustained load. The number 4 aluminum conductor specified for a 100 amp subpanel in these spaces is designed to handle this higher load. It is important to note that the NEC is a minimum standard, and in some cases, it may be necessary to use a larger conductor size than required by code. This may be due to factors such as long conductor runs, which can cause voltage drop, or the presence of sensitive equipment that requires a stable voltage supply. Voltage drop refers to the reduction in voltage along a conductor due to its resistance. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or operate inefficiently. To minimize voltage drop, it is necessary to increase the conductor size. In addition to conductor size, it is also important to consider the type of overcurrent protection used for the subpanel. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect conductors from overloads and short circuits. The overcurrent protection device must be sized appropriately to protect the conductor. The NEC specifies the maximum allowable overcurrent protection for different conductor sizes. For example, a number 4 aluminum conductor is typically protected by a 70 amp overcurrent device. Furthermore, the type of connection between the conductor and the equipment is also crucial. Improper connections can lead to overheating and potential fire hazards. It is important to use connectors that are specifically designed for use with aluminum conductors. These connectors are typically made of aluminum or are plated with aluminum to prevent corrosion. When installing aluminum conductors, it is also important to apply an antioxidant compound to the connection points. This compound helps to prevent the formation of aluminum oxide, which is a poor conductor of electricity. Aluminum oxide can increase the resistance of the connection, leading to overheating. In summary, the selection of aluminum wire size for a 100 amp subpanel depends on the type of occupancy. In dwellings, a number 2 aluminum conductor is typically required, while in commercial spaces like offices and gift shops, a number 4 aluminum conductor is required. However, it is important to consult the NEC and consider factors such as ambient temperature, the number of current carrying conductors, voltage drop, and the type of overcurrent protection used to ensure code compliance and safe operation. Always consult with a qualified electrician for any electrical installations or modifications. This ensures that the work is performed safely and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to prevent injury or property damage. Working with electricity requires a thorough understanding of electrical principles and safety practices. Incorrect wiring or faulty equipment can create hazardous conditions that could lead to electric shock, fire, or even death. Therefore, it is essential to hire a licensed and experienced electrician who has the knowledge and skills to perform electrical work safely and effectively. A qualified electrician will be familiar with the NEC and other applicable codes and regulations. They will also have the necessary tools and equipment to perform the work correctly. Before hiring an electrician, it is important to check their credentials and ensure that they are properly licensed and insured. You should also ask for references and check their reputation. It is also a good idea to get multiple bids from different electricians before making a decision. When discussing the project with the electrician, be sure to clearly explain your needs and expectations. Ask them to provide a detailed estimate of the cost of the work, including materials and labor. Also ask about their warranty policy. Once you have hired an electrician, it is important to supervise their work and ensure that they are following all applicable codes and regulations. If you have any questions or concerns, do not hesitate to ask them. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following these guidelines, you can help to ensure that your electrical system is safe and reliable. Moreover, understanding the specific requirements for different occupancies, like the distinction between dwellings and commercial spaces, highlights the importance of considering the intended use of the space when designing electrical systems. Dwellings, typically characterized by residential use, have different electrical demands compared to commercial spaces such as offices and gift shops. These commercial spaces often have higher and more sustained electrical loads due to equipment like lighting, computers, and appliances that operate for extended periods. The NEC accounts for these variations by specifying different conductor sizes based on the anticipated load and usage patterns. For example, in a dwelling, the NEC might allow for a smaller conductor size for a 100 amp subpanel because the assumption is that not all electrical devices will be operating at their maximum capacity simultaneously. This concept is known as load diversity, where the total load is less than the sum of the individual loads due to varying usage patterns. Conversely, in a commercial space, the NEC typically requires a larger conductor size for the same 100 amp subpanel because the electrical load is expected to be more continuous and less diverse. This ensures that the electrical system can handle the sustained demand without overheating or experiencing voltage drop. Furthermore, the type of equipment used in each occupancy can also influence the conductor size requirements. Dwellings often have a mix of lighting, appliances, and electronic devices, while commercial spaces may have specialized equipment such as HVAC systems, refrigeration units, and industrial machinery. These specialized equipment may have higher electrical demands and require larger conductors to accommodate their loads. In addition to conductor size, other factors such as the length of the conductor run, the ambient temperature, and the presence of other conductors in the same raceway can also affect the ampacity of the conductor. Longer conductor runs can lead to voltage drop, which can reduce the efficiency of electrical equipment and potentially damage sensitive electronics. High ambient temperatures can reduce the ampacity of conductors, requiring larger conductors to maintain the same current carrying capacity. and the presence of multiple conductors in the same raceway can cause them to heat up, also reducing their ampacity. Therefore, it is important to consider all of these factors when selecting the appropriate conductor size for a particular application. The NEC provides detailed tables and guidelines for determining the ampacity of conductors under various conditions. These tables take into account the conductor size, insulation type, ambient temperature, and number of conductors in the raceway. By following these guidelines, electricians can ensure that the electrical system is safe and reliable. In addition to selecting the correct conductor size, it is also important to use appropriate overcurrent protection devices to protect the conductors from overloads and short circuits. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to interrupt the flow of current when it exceeds the rated ampacity of the conductor. This prevents the conductor from overheating and potentially causing a fire. The overcurrent protection device must be sized appropriately to protect the conductor. The NEC specifies the maximum allowable overcurrent protection for different conductor sizes. It is also important to use connectors that are specifically designed for use with aluminum conductors. Aluminum conductors are more susceptible to corrosion than copper conductors, and improper connections can lead to overheating and potential fire hazards. Aluminum connectors are typically made of aluminum or are plated with aluminum to prevent corrosion. When installing aluminum conductors, it is also important to apply an antioxidant compound to the connection points. This compound helps to prevent the formation of aluminum oxide, which is a poor conductor of electricity. Aluminum oxide can increase the resistance of the connection, leading to overheating. Overall, the selection of aluminum wire size for a 100 amp subpanel depends on a variety of factors, including the type of occupancy, the anticipated load, the length of the conductor run, the ambient temperature, and the presence of other conductors in the same raceway. By carefully considering all of these factors and following the guidelines in the NEC, electricians can ensure that the electrical system is safe, reliable, and compliant with all applicable codes and regulations. It's essential to remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician for any electrical installations or modifications. In a practical scenario, consider a small office building with a 100 amp subpanel feeding several computers, printers, and lighting fixtures. Due to the continuous and relatively consistent load of this equipment, a number 4 aluminum conductor would be appropriate, assuming other directing factors do not apply. In contrast, a residential dwelling with a 100 amp subpanel might experience more varied and less sustained loads. For example, the subpanel might feed a laundry room with a washing machine and dryer, a bathroom with a hairdryer, and some general lighting. Since these appliances are not likely to be running simultaneously at their maximum capacity, a number 2 aluminum conductor would likely be sufficient. However, it's important to note that these are just general examples, and the specific requirements for each installation will depend on the actual load calculations and other factors. It's always best to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that the electrical system is properly designed and installed. Let's take another example that will help clarify all of this. Imagine you are wiring a gift shop, which falls under a commercial occupancy. You plan to install a 100 amp subpanel to power display lighting, cash registers, and a small air conditioning unit. Because the NEC requires a number 4 aluminum wire for a 100 amp subpanel in a commercial setting, you would use number 4 aluminum conductors. These conductors are suitable because they are designed to handle the more sustained load typically found in commercial spaces. Now compare this to a residential scenario. Picture you are wiring a 100 amp subpanel in a single family home to power a workshop in the basement. This workshop will have power tools, lighting, and a small heater. In this case, the NEC allows a number 2 aluminum wire for a 100 amp subpanel in a dwelling. This smaller wire size is acceptable because residential loads are typically more diverse and less continuous than commercial loads. The workshop might only be used occasionally, and not all tools and appliances will be running simultaneously. Furthermore, consider the importance of proper termination and connections when using aluminum conductors. Aluminum expands and contracts more than copper with temperature changes, which can lead to loose connections over time if not properly installed. Always use connectors that are specifically designed and listed for use with aluminum conductors. These connectors often have features such as pressure plates or set screws that help maintain a secure connection even with temperature fluctuations. Also, apply an antioxidant joint compound to the aluminum conductors before making the connections. This compound helps prevent oxidation, which can increase resistance and cause the connection to overheat. Be sure to follow the manufacturer's instructions for the proper application of the antioxidant compound. And always torque the connections to the specified torque value using a calibrated torque wrench. Over-tightening or under-tightening the connections can lead to loose connections or damage to the conductors or equipment. Remember, safety is paramount when working with electricity. If you are not comfortable or experienced with electrical work, always hire a qualified electrician. And always follow all applicable codes and regulations. These codes and regulations are in place to protect people and property from electrical hazards. In addition, consider the impact of voltage drop when selecting conductor sizes. Voltage drop is the decrease in voltage along a conductor due to its resistance. Excessive voltage drop can cause appliances and equipment to operate inefficiently or malfunction. The NEC recommends limiting voltage drop to 3% for branch circuits and 5% for feeders. To calculate voltage drop, you need to know the length of the conductor, the current flowing through the conductor, and the resistance of the conductor. There are many online voltage drop calculators that can help you with this calculation. If the calculated voltage drop exceeds the recommended limits, you will need to increase the conductor size to reduce the resistance and lower the voltage drop. Finally, remember to properly label all electrical panels and circuits. This will make it easier to identify circuits in the future and will help prevent accidental disconnections or damage. Use a permanent marker or label maker to clearly label each circuit breaker or fuse with the corresponding load it serves. And keep a circuit directory up to date in each electrical panel. This directory should list all of the circuits in the panel and the loads they serve. By following these tips, you can help ensure that your electrical system is safe, reliable, and code compliant.